Hi guys. So I finally got enough time in my craft room to finish a journal. So this one is a soft cover journal and it's fabric. And this is actually a vintage fabric from my grandmother. The green is a bit darker than what appears on camera, than what appears on my camera. This here is quite a dark green, and this is kind of like a army green. But I'll show you. It's really pretty fabric. It's got little gold edging around all the flowers. So pretty. This fabric, it's actually really old. It was my grandmother had made herself a dress out of this when I was quite young. I was still in primary school at that stage, so it's probably 35 years old at least. It's so pretty. I love the pattern. I was thinking of doing a journal with some vintage fabrics in a patchwork style again, but I think to appreciate the pattern you really need a big piece. So this one I decided to cover the whole journal with it, just because it's so pretty, instead of I don't think a little piece of it would show. You can't appreciate it if you know what I mean. Anyway, so it's a single signature, and inside I've got some, it's kind of like a leatherette type fabric to give it a little bit of sturdiness, but it is a soft cover. And one signature, and that's the side view. I've got a little glass bead here, little green glass bead with a flower on it, and there's a little this little bead is on a little gold safety pin and a little gold bell, because I like some jingle with my journals, and that's on a paper clip actually. Anyway, it's a seam binding closure, and this fabric cover I made a little different to my usual soft cover fabric journals. Usually I will cover the leatherette or vinyl or whatever that fabric is, I'm not sure. You would have seen it in a previous journal. There's one I made, it's boho-ish style journal. If you look at that one, you'll see the fabric that I used in the middle. But usually I'll cover the top with fabric and then cover the inside with fabric, and I will do a straight stitch around the edging with a zigzag stitch in the middle, just to close it so that you don't see the edging of the middle. But in this case I actually wrapped the fabric over the edging, so you'll see that the edging has fabric over it. And usually I do that because I like to put fabric on the top and bottom so that the edge is all frayed and jaggy. But this one I thought a neater kind of appearance, a neater finish on the edging would suit this fabric better. So you'll see that I've wrapped it over instead of having a raggy edge. Okay, and inside I've put some gold fabric, and this gold was just to match the gold in all of the pattern. And I've made an inside pocket using the same fabric as the outside of the journal. And this guy, I had to cut a little, because I've wrapped the fabric, I had to do a little like a little slot that I could pull this through, because this is actually sewn inside. Anyway, I'll get to it. I don't know if you can see. Yeah, sorry, it's really dark here today, but my lamp shines too much light from that way, so it's not even. Okay, so this journal, I actually got to use a lot of the things that I was sent from Uni Desiree in the Beyond Blue mystery pack that I purchased. And if you're not aware of that, I'll put the link to her original video in the description box below, and head over and check it out. But I think most of my subscribers would know it by now. And this was actually one of her cards that came with the pack, and it was a thank you card. It had some typed thank you, little typed thank you note, you know, thank you for purchasing a mystery pack. And I've just put some book page over it and ink the edges just so it could make a little journaling card. And she sells these in her shop as well. Aren't they beautiful? She drew this. So pretty. Anyway, so I've popped that in the front pocket, and this is a piece of scrapbook paper that was left over. I've used the rest of it in the book somewhere. This is one of the few scrapbook papers. I found 4 pads at an op shop because I don't buy scrapbook papers or anything. But I did find some at an op shop once. Some of them are a bit ugly patterns, but I've been chopping them up slowly and using them. And this was a butterfly out of a butterfly journal. Sorry, not a journal, a book. The whole book is just butterflies. There's no words, no writing, anything. It's just butterflies. I love it. And I've put that onto some blue coffee dyed paper. Isn't it pretty? I love that green butterfly. And I just thought he matched all the green in the book. Okay. So that was scrapbook paper as well. And I've just stitched the top and bottom to make a pocket, and there's a pocket on the side and oops, on the bottom. And this is a little piece of the ephemera that was in that mystery pack. Oops, upside down. It's just like a little check. It's really cute. I've just popped that in there. Some blue trim. Coffee dyed papers. This was out of a floral book that I found. It was a diary in an op shop. And I've just got some fabric there with that little green, glass bead. Isn't it cute? This was off an old broken piece of jewellery, but it's really gorgeous. Kind of reminds me of like an oriental bead. Oops. Sorry, I've got threads everywhere. This was also out of my mystery pack, and I think this was done by Jenny Leslie from Hello Be Natural. Really pretty. I love her work. This page is it's a children's, you know, like vocabulary type book. I found a couple of them at an op shop, and I remember those books when we were in 4th grade. So I thought they'd be fun in there. So this book, there's no theme. It's got a fair bit of green and blue just because of the green cover, and a lot of the pages are vintage. This is from a vintage children's book. Coffee dyed map pages. Look at the coffee dyeing effect on this page. Isn't that gorgeous? I love coffee dyed papers. But this journal does still smell like coffee because these coffee dyed papers, I only did them a few days ago. Put some ruffles down the side. This is a fabric pocket. And this is vintage fabric as well. And I've just stitched that on. That's a little card. Look, correct me if I'm wrong. I think these are called Project Life cards. I'm not sure because I don't buy real crafty stuff. But this came in my mystery pack as well. It's a bit of that scrapbook paper. This is actually from a coffee dyed security envelope. And I've just stapled a little piece of scrap fabric to the top with my new tiny attacher. I love this thing. It's like my favorite little tool apart from the crocodile. Actually, look, they're the only tools I have, but apart from like hammers and stuff. But I love that little tiny attacher. It's so cute and it staples so well. This is blue coffee dyed paper, doily. This is just a little, it's actually cardboard. I cut this out of some packaging or something, and I've made a kind of charm out of it. On top I've just put some diamond glaze. I don't know if you can see, but it's quite hard. It gives it like a glass-like finish, and I've put a blue eyelet in there. So this can actually come off if it annoys you, because I've only just tied it with some, what is this, nylon ribbon or whatever it's called. This is coffee dyed ledger paper. This was from a vintage cookbook, and all that colour, that's the natural aging. It's not distressed or anything. And because it's so old, the pages are really thick and brittle. So I've just had to put a bit of washi tape down the other side just to, you know, because when you bend it, it almost like snaps like a biscuit. This is from a carpentry book. I love the images in that book. Look at that. And that's a vintage book as well. Oh, this, you would have seen this in one of my vintage book hauls videos a while back. It was, I can't remember, I think it was late 60s or early 70s, but it was just a book on learning French, and it's full of the handwriting, which I just love. I don't know why, but I love when you find other people's handwriting in books. So that side is blank, and so I've just used that. And I was thinking of actually scanning a lot of those pages because they're really cool, the whole book. This is the first page I think I've used out of it, and I was thinking of scanning them and making a great big digital file. I don't know if anyone would be interested though, but it's a really beautiful book. I might show it again one day and see if anyone thinks I should or not. It's just a little pocket with some fabric stitch there. And that's one of those gardening cards backed onto... Actually, this coffee dyed paper on the back is my Aldi shopping docket. It was just the perfect size. I know, I coffee dye shopping dockets, junk mail, everything. I don't know, it's crazy. Just a bit of trim there. So this is the center of the journal. So the stitching is actually down in the middle. I've just made a pocket after I've stitched it in. And it's got a piece of coffee dyed writing paper in there and a little card. I don't know if you meant to cut these out, but this was also in that mystery pack I got. I thought they were really cute, but yeah, I guess I don't know how to use proper craft supplies like this because I never buy them, but I'm not sure if you meant to cut them out or what, but it's really cute even if it's just used as a little card. Oops, pop that in. This has got all of those words that everyone seems to love, like faith and be brave and life and blessings and all that. I don't use little words and quotes in any of my journals or mixed media projects or anything like that. I don't know, like I'll probably offend a lot of people, but I always feel like all those little quotes are a bit cheesy. I don't know, maybe it's a generation thing, but yeah, I just don't use them. It's just another ruffle. This here, that's a bit of painted canvas. I made, I had some canvases that I had painted ages ago, and they never made it up on the wall, so I had just chopped them up and made some little traveller's notebooks out of them for my Etsy shop. And they're just some of the little corners when I made a pocket in them. It's just a little scrap piece to make a tag. This is coffee dyed ledger paper, And I've just put some little scraps out of my little scrap box. That's a little autumn leaf. Don't know where I got that from, but I thought it was cute. So that folds out just to give you extra writing space. This is like a really heavy coffee dyed. This little banner thing was also in my mystery pack, and I thought it was really cute actually. And I've just put a little piece of paper made into a tag underneath. Another fabric pocket. Oh, that's just an off-cut of that blue paper. But I just love the blue coffee dyed paper, so I don't chuck out any of the scraps. This was also a little card, little journal card that was in my pack. So someone has made this out of magazine pages, and I think they might have just Mod Podged over the top. They're really pretty. I love handmade stuff like this. Map papers. This is the old, this was from one of my children's old school books. There was one book that was practically empty, so I just took the empty pages out of it. This was when they were really young. You know, it's got the really wide lines that you might get in like year 3 or something. So these are like a centimetre or more apart. Probably a centimetre and a half. I love the images in this old children's, I think it was a nursery rhyme book. Look at that. Look at that teddy bear. He's so cute. Oops. I don't like that though because it makes me think of a cockroach, and I'm not scared of anything like spiders, heights, nothing. But I am scared of cockroaches. Like, I will actually scream like a girl if I see one. Another ruffle. Well, I am a girl, but you know what I mean. That's just a little scrap of the paper. I just folded it over to make a little pocket. I've got like a little scrap in there. Oops. Oops. And just a blue paper clip with some scrap fabric on top. These children's books, they are awesome. I love them. Like, I remember these when we were young. That's I pulled this off an old blouse or something that was my grandmother's. It's ugly but pretty. Does that make sense? Not really. It's another one of those little cards. I don't know, these stripes always make me think of like a lifesaver at the beach or something. I don't know. And some more. Look how beautiful this blue coffee dyed paper came up. I just love it. It's so gorgeous. And then this is another card that was also in my mystery pack. I'm not sure who made this, but I really love it. It's got, looks like magazine pages. And I don't know, there's a pond there, but then there's a lounge chair. I love that. And then look on this side. They've got a rooster with a butterfly. I don't know. I just thought it's so funky. I really love it. But you could use it as a photo mat to put a photo on, or gesso and write on it. But they've got some little bling. These are like little dimensional bumpy. It's so cool. I love that card, whoever made that. Thank you. And it was perfect to go in here with the little green butterfly and the green fabric. And that's it. So that's my little journal. One signature. I think it's about 80 pages or something around there. But this will go into my little Etsy shop if you're interested. And I'll have all the dimensions and, you know, total pages and everything there. But anyway, that's it. I've got a few other journals that I'll show this afternoon or tomorrow. That's it. Thanks for watching. Bye.